Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Wednesday, January 3rd. I'm Michael Taylor, in today for Bobby Higgins. She's on vacation this week. Everybody deserves a little time off. I'm on vacation next week. Try not to miss me. I know, it's hard. Hope you had a great holidays. January 3rd, this is time when everybody starts taking down Christmas, and I was taking down everything last night, clearing out the whole house. Hopefully you'll be able to keep the Christmas spirit alive, but the house is gonna look pretty normal like usual. Got to take the tree down, that's the last thing. I'm doing that later today. Hopefully you had a great Christmas and holiday season, and we're ready for a great new year. Speaking of that, today on the show, we're gonna talk about your finances with Pacific Financial Planners and how you can make sure you have a great financial new year. We'll be talking a little bit about that. And then, you remember the old Twilight Zone show? Well, the Theater Guild has decided to recreate that one on film, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later in the program as well. Should be a fun show for us. Hey, let's take a look at our Stay Informed. And speaking of taking down Christmas, it's time to recycle those trees. We got the tree recycling program coming up for you. You know, it's the usual thing. You just put it out there on the curb, and you make sure that they come by, they pick up the tree, and you make sure you call ahead for folks, but put it out on the curb, and they are doing the tree recycling for us. And so looking forward for that. Local weather, we take a look outside. If you're watching the live show, 9 a.m., it's still a little rainy out there. We're going to have rain probably throughout most of the morning, and then we're going to see some clearing a little bit later on this afternoon. And then we have, believe it or not, mostly sunny skies tomorrow. And then temperatures basically in the 60s. We get a little bit cooler towards the weekend. It's going to be probably our coolest day of the week on Sunday. So, but no more rain in the forecast for now, which is a nice pace. We'll be able to dry off and get the year going off right. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset right now. And we want to thank, of course, Ben Givens for sending us this picture from Corona Del Mar. Our sunrise was 6:55. Our sunset, 4:55. If you'd like to send us a picture of the sunrise, sunset, or pets, places, anywhere you've been on vacation or whatever it might be, go ahead and send it to us and we'll put it in our sunrise, sunset segment. It's Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. Send us that picture. Make sure you include your name and where you took the photo. Hey, if you like meetings, you're going to love the next graphic we got for you. And then when we come back, we'll be talking about your money with Pacific Financial Planners.
Calling all parrot heads and land lovers to flock to the Performing Arts Center to get their tickets to Jimmy's Buffet, January 18th. The Boomers Club is thrilled to bring the #1 Jimmy Buffett band on the West Coast to Laguna Woods. Jimmy's Buffet is a wildly fun show celebrating the music and vibes of the man himself. It'll be all Hawaiian shirts and salt shakers as the band plays Buffett's hits among dancing sharks, tiki towers, and palm trees. The crowd will hear all the classics and new hits. The awesome 7-piece band features steel drums, congas, keyboards, and 4-part Caribbean harmonies. And crowd participation is the hallmark of the show. Don't miss Jimmy's Buffet.
We all love our independence. Mobility City is your choice for all mobility equipment, repairs, service, rentals, and sales. We have rollators, wheelchairs, scooters, lift-out chairs, hospital beds, and more. We repair all mobility equipment in or out of warranty. Battery replacement too. And we'll come to you. Plus, we offer short and long-term rentals. Mobility City's personalized service is our specialty.
These guys are lifesavers.
So call or stop by our showroom today. Open Saturdays.
The Salvation Army Orange County is proud to be a leader in providing comprehensive care to families, men, women, young adults, seniors, and veterans in Orange County. Our shelters provide food, clothing, counseling, housing navigation, and job training. We also provide care through rent and utility assistance, food pantries, anti-trafficking services, adult rehabilitation, and youth programs. Donate today to help families in need and empower individuals towards self-sufficient life.
Hi, welcome to Pacific Financial Planners. We focus on income replacement for your retirement. We have over 3 decades of professional money management experience. We personalize a plan that's right for you and your family. You only get one shot at retirement. Don't you think you better get it right? So give us a call for your free consultation. We can do this over the phone, via Zoom, or in person.
New year is always a good time to take a fresh look at your finances. And from Pacific Financial Planners, we want to welcome Jerry Slusowicz back to the program.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
Happy New Year. And so, like I said, this is a good time to kind of know where you stand financially, right? Take a look at what happened last year, where are we looking for this year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the most important things is to really know where you are, know where you stand. And that's so important when it comes to finance and investing. And I'll be honest with you, 35 years of doing this, a lot of people don't, but it's always a good idea. People make New Year's resolution, what are the 5 F's, faith, family, finance, fun, fitness. There we go. So finance, that's me.
Right. And so, so a lot of people have that 401k and they've been putting it in there and they don't look at it. Like you say, they don't really check it. I think it's good. I think I have a 401k. And I think that they're kind of scared. Look at the finance. They don't understand it. So they just kind of hope it's going well. And that's probably not the best strategy, right?
Yeah. And a lot of people that are, younger and still working, they're contributing and they go, oh, well, it's up. Well, that's because you put a bunch of money into it.
Right.
But yeah, there's no doubt. It's not one of those things. Having health and wealth go together, and you do need money. And when you do retire and stop taking the paycheck, it's even more important to take an inventory of where you are, where you stand financially. I use a lot of analogies, and so for example, let's say you and I want to take a trip to New York. Well, how much money do we have? Are we going to fly there? Are we driving there? What's the best way to get there? Now, let's say we're going to drive there. Okay, it's January 3rd. Are we going to go the northern route, go through snow and ice, or are we going to go the southern route? Or if it's the summertime, do you really want to go through the desert heat? So it's the same thing with the markets. What's going on with the climate and the market? So you've got to know where you are and know where you're going. And so, that's the old, what was it? Any way you want to get there, it would work if you don't know where you are. I can't remember. There's
a saying somewhere out there like that.
There's a saying somewhere, yeah.
Past is not a predictor for the future, but we had we had a crazy last year with interest rates, and there were definitely some winners and losers. And so as we look down the road this year, the Fed says, hey, we're going to lower interest rates. So what should people be doing differently, knowing that at least that is coming? Is there something that we can specifically do there?
Yeah, lock in the higher rates today. I mean, it's really important. We were given a gift last year. We had rates that went up 25%, which is a big increase in the course of the year. And then it dropped it by the end of the year. And some of these things still haven't come down in terms of interest rates. So if you can lock in for longer in terms of earnings right now, these are rates we haven't seen since 17, 18, 20 years ago. So that's a pretty good idea right now because they're giving you good opportunities.
So like treasury bills and things like that, is that what we're talking about here?
Absolutely.
In terms of getting those high performing, kind of high yield rates of return?
Correct, because if inflation starts to lower, the rate of cost starts to not go up as fast, that's what's going to cause these interest rates to go down. If we have, let's say, a 3% inflation rate this year, and we're still at 5% on interest rates, that's a 2% real rate of return over the cost of money. So you want to kind of lock that in and create a portfolio of staggered maturities. So some of it's short term, in case we're wrong and rates go up, and some of it's longer term to hold these higher rates, because that's what we think is going to happen exactly.
What are the things that are maybe some good bets or bad bets for the coming year? What are you looking at and saying, okay, this is a way we're going to go? I mean, I know you don't like to be a prognosticator, but
well, generally, because it's an election year, it's a very high probability that that's a good year. And a lot of people say, oh my gosh,
like for the stock market and just in general?
Yeah, for the economy and stock market.
And with interest rates coming down, that's going to let companies borrow money easier, right? So they're not going to be locked in those high rates. It was free money for such a long time for so many companies. That's why they were borrowing so much.
That was years and years ago. Yeah, for years and years they were able to borrow money with zero cost. Now that cost of money's gone way up. So as rates come down, it's going to help the housing market, which will help a lot of business, a lot of economy. It'll help businesses who borrow tremendously. So it should help the stock and the bond market tremendously. And a lot of people are afraid because of the divisiveness and the politics. We've got money in markets and politics. They're not the same. They're separate. But most times, incumbents get reelected, okay? Most times, okay? And that's, I'm talking about local elections, state elections, and federal as well. So they're on their best behavior to try to make things look good.
Right.
Since 1900, 32 election cycles, 31 of them have been positive. That's 130 years of, 120 years of data. So that's a lot.
It's a pretty good track record to say this is a
record.
pretty good predictor for where we're headed.
So by the end of the year, here's my big prediction. You asked me.
Okay, here we go.
I think by December 31st, we'll be higher than we are today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the beginning of the year might be a little herky-jerky because we did have a little run-up at the end of last year.
Right, and all the indexes almost came back to their pre-pandemic kind of levels, right?
Yeah, but you got to talk about, gosh, that's a long time to break even. There's a couple, like the Dow hit a new all-time high, but right before the end of last year. The S&P 500, which is your broader 500 index, or the NASDAQ, did not. But, to say, wow, let's celebrate, we're almost even from years ago, that's not that great. So you've really got to, again, it goes back to where are you, how's your money allocated, are you taking too much or too little risk? It comes down to the individual, and it's a good idea to kind of get that reviewed.
So what would you say to seniors these days? Because they'd have a shorter window, right? What's a better strategy for their investment planning these days?
Well, again, that's along the lines of what you're saying, is that long term, when people talk about long term in the market, they're talking 20, 25 years.
Right.
A lot of seniors don't have that 20, 25-year time horizon, especially if you're drawing money off. Not everybody needs to draw money off, but a lot of people, that's what they saved in their 401k to do, is to pay themselves from there versus the paycheck. So you want to be in a more conservative strategy. And a lot of people here in the village say they're conservative, but they love the stock market. They just love it. They're infatuated. And I see people with 80, 90% of their money, well, I'm in mutual funds. Well, those mutual funds are in the stock market.
They're in the stock market.
Yeah, but they don't realize it. So there's a couple things you could do. One is if you use risk investments like stocks and mutual funds and that sort of thing, have an exit strategy. I call it the CPR method. Control your costs, protect each position to reduce the risk. Look, you want it to go up, but if it's not working, have a decision of how much you're willing to lose.
Right.
People say, well, I don't want to lose money. Yeah, nobody wants to.
Yeah.
Or you can use no-risk investments, banks, bonds, and insurance companies, things like CDs, treasury bills, corporate bonds of highly rated, your Intel, Johnson & Johnson, Bank of America of the world. Those things are safe. You hold them to maturity. You cannot lose as long as those issuers are intact. And then there's other investments through insurance companies that if the market, you could participate in the stock market. If it goes up, you make money, you participate in the upside, and if the market goes down, you cannot lose.
Okay.
Those are also good for seniors to really take a look at and see if that's good for them versus a lot of people, like I said, have way too much risk here in the village. And then there's other people on the other side who have all their money in the bank and they don't want to take any risk. And as long as they have the income flow that's going to last their lifetime, that's an okay strategy. But I see people who don't have enough money doing that strategy, and that's not good either.
Right. And there's a lifestyle that when someone sits down with you and says, hey, okay, I'm ready, I think I'm ready to retire, start taking that draw, there's an assessment, okay, well, what's your monthly spend? What do you want to do? How long? What's your,
time frame.
Over what kind of time horizon are we talking about pulling this money out of, right?
Right. And then the last bit to that people fail, and even financial advisors fail, they say, okay, good, you need $6,000 a month, you'll get $3,000 for Social Security, we'll take $3,000 off your portfolio. But they forget about inflation. And we saw that hit really hard over the last few years where seniors suddenly who thought they were okay, when costs are up 16, 17% over the last few years, and they're not going to go back down. Just the rate of cost isn't going up as much, okay?
Right.
They're like going, oh gosh, now maybe I don't have enough money. So you've got to calculate how much money you have today, how safe is that income to last over your lifetime,
right.
And then you've got to make some hypothetical guesses of what the cost, especially healthcare costs, how much is that going to go up?
Right, and that's always a factor that people in the early days of retirement don't always think about, that those healthcare costs in the last years of life can be really substantial.
Yeah, people think, there's 3 stages of retirement, right? Your go-go days, your slow-go days, and your no-go days, right? And I've been around this, community for 30 plus years to see that all the way through, my own parents as well. And your spending doesn't go down. You think, okay, I'm going to spend more at the beginning, take these big vacations, et cetera. No, you're spending it on healthcare at the end. So you've got to have a plan for all those costs.
Right.
And even if you have a financial advisor and you feel you're okay, it's always a good idea to get a second opinion and just have someone who's been around, knowledgeable, take a look at it and say, hey, look, I reach across the table and say, you won the game of life. I've done that to a lot of people here in the village and tell them, hey, look, your plan's great. And other people have said, here's some holes in your plan, and they could go back to their advisor and fix it, or they can go to somebody else and have them help fix it as well. So that second opinion is always a good idea here, especially at the start of the year.
Well, if you're looking for a second opinion or a first meet, we got Thursday, January 11th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., Clubhouse 7. You'll be out there kind of doing what we're talking about today, right?
The Financial Forum, it's a club here in the village. It's free, no RSVP. Show up. You can ask any questions. You can sit silently. We don't take attendance. It's great for people who are worried but don't know what to do.
Okay. Jerry, thank you so much, and Happy New Year.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. We'll be right back with the Theater Guild. Stay with us.
Welcome to Pacific Financial Planners. We focus on income replacement for your retirement. We have over 3 decades of professional money management experience. We personalize a plan that's right for you and your family. You only get one shot at retirement. Don't you think you better get it right? So give us a call for your free consultation. We can do this over the phone, via Zoom, or in person.
Pet boarding and daycare reimagined in Laguna Woods. Smart Park is offering 1 month of unlimited free daycare to new clients that pass a temperament evaluation. Call today to redeem this offer and get started.
Living and learning in Laguna Woods Village is a unique experience. For over 45 years, the Emeritus Institute has provided tuition-free college classes within your community. Join us to experience expert faculty, quality academics, and to make friends through the Emeritus Institute. New classes start every semester, and you can join nearly any time. Visit us anytime at saddleback.edu/emeritus. Learn, live, and thrive with the Emeritus Institute.
No one deserves to be ashamed of their smile. MacArthur Dental Arts is here to bring back your confidence. We specialize in at-home, personalized smile restoration through the power of dental implants and perfect fit dentures. I'm here to answer all your questions with free in-office consults or using our Laguna Woods in-home service special. Don't wait to get the secure, worry-free smile you deserve. Visit MacArthurDentalArts.com or call the number on your screen to schedule your consultation today.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition. And it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You're on a journey through the Twilight Zone.
Well, we're supposed to be talking to folks from the Theater Guild today, but I think our next stop actually is the Twilight Zone. Hate to break it to you folks. Thank you very much for joining us, Barbara Torino and Larry Cromling.
Thank you for having us.
And you guys, the Theater Club, made a movie.
Yes,
we just saw the clip. You obviously was at Twilight Zone. You were the co-director of this. You were a big participant. What was it like doing this?
It was pretty amazing. You know, we're used to doing live theater, and we just decided let's do something different. We happen to have a phenomenal director who has a lot of experience and expertise, and he said, let's make a movie.
Okay.
And I said, whoa. And
So it's
we
just that
did.
quick, that's the whole
It was just that quick, and we have our movie. He wrote it and directed it and edited it, and it just blew us all away.
Wow, that's terrific. And Larry, you were one of the lead actors in this. What was it like? I'm going from like, you know, kind of the usual stage things that you do to, oh, we're going to do a movie.
Well, good question. It was exciting, but it was very intimidating. I'm 88 years old. There isn't a whole lot that I can still do that would get me excited, but I never thought I would make a movie.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
this was amazing. But then I realized he handed me the number 5 episode. There's 5 episodes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm the closing episode. I'm on the set for 8 or 9 minutes, and I've got to make the audience remember that this was a Twilight Zone episode, and I don't know how to do that. So intimidating. Yeah, it was a little scary. It really was, but it was sure a lot of fun.
Well, from what I saw, it looked like a lot of fun. It looks like you did a great job, too.
Well, thank you.
And now, Barbara, is telling a story in a movie for you as an actor easier or telling it on a theater? Because I feel like in the theater, you have a beginning, middle, and end. You go through the whole process. But in a movie, you're shooting segments, you're stopping, things can be disconnected or feel disjointed. So is it harder or easier to tell a story that way?
I think a movie is challenging for the reason that you said. It's not linear like a show. So you have to be ready to do this scene and then switch and do this scene and maybe go back and do. So that makes it challenging. But on the other side, it's sometimes a little easier because live theater, it's live theater. There's no redo, there's no edit. Whereas the movie, if you forget your line or if you don't know the line, somebody can give you the line. And our director was amazing. Somebody would give us a line, you'd say it, and he'd film it, and then, what's my next line? Somebody would give you the next line, and then he managed to put it all together so it wasn't, you didn't realize, and it looked as if we all...
continuity and just, well,
it looked as if we had it memorized, but we fooled you.
And we're looking at pictures of some of the folks that were also involved. And how many folks were involved in the film in terms of actors?
We had about 22, 23, and it was a wonderful collaboration between Costa del Sol, which is a senior community in Mission Viejo, and Laguna Woods Theater Guild. So we had probably 8 to 10 Theater Guild members who joined us to do the movie. So it was a wonderful partnership of the two groups, and we had a ball.
Now, Larry, have you seen all of the Twilight Zone episodes that you guys recreated? Are you familiar? Are you a big fan?
I saw Twilight Zone episodes when I was young, of course, the real ones.
Sure.
I remembered one of the 5 that we did.
Okay.
But I don't remember seeing the other 4, including the one he handed me.
Okay.
So, but I have now seen that episode at least 6 times on YouTube.
Doing your research?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how I found out what I was trying to do, because you had to make it realistic, even though we had the correct verbiage from the scripts, and that's what I had, was a script with all the verbs in it. You still had to do the action like it showed up on the original scene, and that was a challenge. It was for me anyway.
Yeah. Now, as an actor, are you? And I know you're not. I know the answer to this a little bit. You're not trying to copy. You want to bring a little bit of something to it as well, a little bit of originality, but you also are kind of doing a shot-for-shot, line-for-line remake of the episodes too, right?
It's a little different than when you do a part in theater and you want to bring yourself to the part. This is something, it's iconic. Everybody knows the Twilight Zone, so you kind of have to emulate what that episode looked like, and Larry had to become Burgess Meredith because he played that part.
Right.
Yes, and so and everyone just watched all the episodes and did a wonderful job of. I see the picture on the screen now is the mannequin episode, and our mannequins they held that position for 4 or 5 minutes without moving, so it was just amazing.
That's terrific. So where can people see the film? How can people see it?
Yes, it's going to be shown February 18th.
No, January.
No, I'm sorry, January 18th at Clubhouse 5.
Okay.
7
terrific.
o'clock. And
popcorn, admission?
Yes, there is. It's free for the Theater Guild members,
Okay.
and there is a $10 admission for outside Theater Guild.
Okay, terrific. Plans to do another one? Is this based on the success of this one?
Well, everybody has loved it so that I think they would love. So we're kind of talking about maybe doing another one.
Okay,
So, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
In the
TBD,
hopes.
yes.
To be determined. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, theater always bringing something fun to the table and something new, and this seems like about the same kind of thing. So
Yeah.
keep it up for 2024.
It's great fun.
Larry and Barbara, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
Michael.
us.
And speaking of Twilight Zone movies, we're going to preview our own movies we have right here in Village Television when we come back.
At Renewed Ketamine Infusion, Dr. Justin Yannick and Dr. Tanya Dahl are board-certified physicians with nearly a decade of experience in ketamine therapy who can help those who haven't found success with other treatments or wish to avoid daily medications. Whether you're struggling with depression, PTSD, anxiety, or chronic pain conditions, our private spa-like clinic focuses on creating the perfect setting for your ketamine treatment. Call us today to schedule your free physician consultation to determine if ketamine therapy is recommended for you.
Hi, I'm Dan McEachran. 35 years ago, I was lucky enough to get my start in Laguna Woods. First, building patio rooms, then kitchens. Our cabinets are all built locally in Irvine. It all began with patio rooms, like this Majorca model, which we made into a complete room. I'll pull permits. We'll take care of everything. Give me a call. We'll do a nice job for you.
Welcome to OCI Care with Dr. Vyas, Laguna Woods' most trusted premium laser eye surgery and comprehensive ophthalmology center. Located in the heart of the Laguna Woods community, OCI Care specializes in laser cataract surgery, glasses-free cataract surgery, microscopic glaucoma surgery, diabetic eye checks, routine exams, and all your other eye care needs. Dr. Vyas and the OCI Care staff believe in one-on-one care and the patient-physician relationship. Come in for your appointment today for a lifetime of better vision.
It's not the Twilight Zone movie. We've got some great movies coming up. This Friday, we have Same Time Next Year, which is really just a classic film. It was Alan Alda and Ellen Bernstein about two married couples who meet, have a little bit of affair, and agree to come back same time next year for years and years to come. It's a great film. And then on Saturday, we have Genius with Colin Firth and Jude Law. And that's brought to us by Saddleback. Oh, by the way, Same Time Next Year, brought to us by Hogue. Saddleback's bringing us Genius with Colin Firth and Jude Law. It chronicles Max Perkins' time as a book editor at Scribner, where he met all of the great classic writers of his time. So stay tuned for those movies on Friday and Saturday. All right, let's take a quick check of the weather before we head out. We have a little bit of scattered rain this morning. If you're watching us live, we'll maybe have a couple of scattered showers for the rest of the morning. Then a little bit of a clear out, partly cloudy skies, and then mostly sunny tomorrow, and then partly cloudy for the rest of the week. Temperatures in the 60s. And tomorrow on this day, we have the Shalom Club and Thrive. We're going to be here, so stay tuned for that. I'll be here as well if that's any incentive to watch. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.